Drill long pan a topic, all up on a rocket. Muscle confusion, him a try make logic. Drew yourself stop it when Rochelle upon a unicorn. Common sense, so come on back to base like a uniform. Gwan. Best podcast in the broadcast. Listen when indoors, listen first class. Talk about enough things, make you start laugh. Best podcast in the world. Gwan. Best podcast in the world.
Wagwan, everybody, Wagwan.
Yeah, we're there.
Greetings from the Most High. Jesus Christ. All right, guys, just a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. We have a YouTube channel. If you don't already know, now you know. The YouTube channel is the Wagwan Podcast. Please subscribe, like, and share any of our content. Feel free to tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend.
Yes. And if you want us to talk about something that you want to hear about, email us at wagwanpodcasts@gmail.com, WAHGWAN podcast@gmail.com. And we're also on Instagram. Follow us, comment. Yeah.
We're also found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Amazon Music, and all your other favorite streaming platforms. If it's a platform for streaming, we are definitely on it. Make sure you check us out.
Yeah, Shawn. Yeah, Baba. Check out this clip. Check out this clip, bro.
Would be over because of his new apology. He is sadly mistaken. But that is where we'll start today, with Will Smith, or his PR people, apologizing on his Instagram yesterday. Writing violence in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are part of the job, but a joke about JADA's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. And in this, also apologizing to the Academy, the King Richard family, and the Williams family. With that apology, the Williams family may be also connected to Richard Williams, right, the man that Will Smith played in the movie, having spoke about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, saying, "We don't know all the details of what happened, but we don't condone anyone hitting anyone else unless it's in self-defense," which is notable because in Will Smith's acceptance speech, he appeared to try to relate his actions on that stage to what Richard did himself. Also, today with JADA posting on Instagram that this is a season for healing and that she is here for it. And as far as Chris, he has not issued a public comment on the situation yet, but if he was in need of some new stand-up material, does he have it now? And not only does he have that, even though if you go online and people seem split 50-50, most comedians other than Tiffany Haddish have Chris Rock's back right now. Because like I said, if Will Smith's goal was for people to
keep my wife's name out your mouth,
what he actually appears to have done is give the comedy community a green light. With some comedians like Tom Segura just throwing fucking haymakers right out the gate, tweeting, "Fuck Will Smith's candy ass smacking a dude 4 inches shorter and 50 pounds lighter." He's just in his feelings because his bald-headed bitch been fucking around on him for years and he takes it. We all know who he wishes he could slap, #CuckWill. With other comedians like Chris DiStefano making kind of impromptu videos from their car saying,
"I am 100% on Chris Rock's side. I mean, really, you're gonna slap a guy over a freaking G.I. Jane joke? I don't care what happened in your life before this, or he's been making fun of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith's relationship for a long time. It's like, yeah, because it's toxic. You can obviously see it's toxic. I mean, she publicly says she cheats on you all the time, and Will Smith's obviously in the closet gay, which is fine. Just come out, be free, be open, be gay, be happy."
With some like James Corden coming to Chris Rock's defense in a more calm way.
Seriously though, I applaud Chris Rock for recovering, keeping the show moving. It was an incredibly dignified response. I'll say this, Will Smith can't take a joke. Chris Rock can take a punch.
With comedians like George Wallace laying it out simple, saying as Rock got hit, I got hit. We comedians, we felt the pain. You also had Joe Rogan speaking out, suggesting that Will's fame or stature should not have allowed him to get away with that slap, also talking about what this means for other comedians moving forward.
Someone is so enormously famous and successful like Will Smith that they literally still allowed him to not just win the Academy Award, but also go up and accept it and give a speech after he assaulted a small comedian.
Yeah, they should have ejected him. They should have ejected him from the show.
100%. 100%. I agree with that. You can't just go smack a man in the face in front of the world and then go about business as usual. First of all, it sets a terrible precedent.
Yes.
in so many different ways. It sets a terrible precedent for comedy clubs.
Yes.
Like, are people going to decide that they're going to go on stage and smack the comedian now?
Additionally, Rogan and others calling Chris Rock's joke mild, which is also, I think, why you had people like comedian Andrew Schultz doing a no-holds-barred, oh, you thought Rock's joke was bad? Just watch this 3-minute roast of Will and Jada at the top of his podcast today, also wearing armor, I guess, in case Will Smith was near the studio.
If you didn't see the Oscars, Chris Rock got himself in a hairy situation. He shined a light on female alopecia, while Jada's head shined a light on everything else. Chris was making fun of Jada's baldy, but seriously, how is Will supposed to get turned on if she has a woman's haircut? Now, I'm not saying that he's gay. Wow. He likes women, specifically ones that swim for Penn. Last night, Will Smith looked like he was from the streets of Philadelphia, and Jada looked like she was from the movie. Now, after all that drama, Will Smith still took home an Oscar. I'm talking about the award, not a Mexican guy to f his wife while he watched in the corner.
Okay, you gotta chill though.
Now, to clarify, Will won the Oscar for Best Actor. People were saying it was for the Lifetime Achievement Award, and no, that's not it. That Oscar goes to the plumber that unclogged Jada's shower drain. Will, let this be a lesson to you. If you want to keep your wife's name out of other people's mouths, make sure to keep your hands off comedians.
With Shawn also making a point that I've seen other comedians make, where it very much feels like this is the comedy community versus the Hollywood community. With him noting that even though the crowd was kind of in shock that this was a thing that was actually happening, they very much appeared to be on Will Smith's side.
Keep this in mind. All the people in that crowd have been made fun of by Chris Rock for the last decade. These are people who live in their own little Hollywood bubbles. Nobody ever gives them pushback. Nobody ever teases them. Nobody ever says nothing to these people. They don't have a sense of humor. You go see these shows and they're like groaning about all these jokes and then applauding when the joke is virtuous, right?
Yeah.
They see they have to go to these events because they want the public applause.
Yeah.
They want the public validation, but they know that they're going to get caught in the crosshairs from a Chris Rock joke, and it drives them crazy. And they were happy.
With the likes of Jim Carrey also taking aim at the audience reaction in Hollywood.
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless. En masse.
Also saying Will Smith should have been arrested and of Chris Rock not filing charges, he said.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous. You know, that insult is going to last a very long time.
But with all that said, in the meantime, while you have people making jokes about Will Smith smacking the taste out of Chris Rock's mouth, Will also appears to have slapped some dollars into Chris Rock's wallet. Not only because I imagine this made me and many more people want to see, oh my god, what is Chris Rock's next special going to be? According to reports, the price for tickets to Chris Rock's next shows jumped from a minimum of $46 to $341. With Ticket Marketplace TickPick writing, we sold more tickets to see Chris Rock overnight than we did in the past month combined. Cause yeah, we want to know what you were thinking and what you stopped yourself from saying on that stage. As more and more people have noted, while yes, Chris Rock was frazzled, there is a moment where you see himself hold back from just going in on the two. Also, as far as the Academy Awards taking this situation very seriously, they probably didn't mind that this year they got better ratings. I wonder why. Averaging 15.4 million viewers, so I'd love to see the numbers for the last hour after the slap. But that average is huge. It's a 56% increase from the roughly 10 million people watching last year. Though it is worth noting that these are early figures, so the number is probably higher. You know, there's this dumb part of me wondering, you know, you have the Academy Awards publicly saying, you know, we're taking this very seriously, but behind the scenes, do they go, maybe we create more situations where this is like a Real Housewives reunion? Because their ratings have sucked for a little while now. Right, we talked about a 56% increase this year, but I mean, comparing that to 2020, where there were 23.6 million viewers, in 2017, 33 million, these are garbage numbers. Right, this was still the second least watched Oscars since they began tracking viewers. But more people might tune in from the get-go if at any point you could hear Stone Cold's music play. But
bro, what Will did, Will opened up Pandora's box, boy. And I would love to also see somebody run the hell up on Will. Because if you gonna think you bad enough to slap some dude and walk away, I don't care how much Ali movies you think you did, nigga. Real life ain't like the movies. I would love to see some dude run up on Will. Anyway, what y'all thought about what y'all heard?
I think it's fake.
You think what's fake?
The slap. I think the whole thing is fake now.
Oh, now you on my side? Okay.
I don't know. I don't think it's fake because of what he said. Leave your name, leave my wife's name out of your mouth. Afterwards, you could clearly see he was angry. You know, what I think is that it was kind of an attention-seeking act. He thought it would probably get him publicity. You know, it's not that he needs any more publicity, but I feel like he was just doing it, not necessarily really angry, but trying to protect his woman, or doing it so his woman thinks that he was doing it for Jada.
I hear that. I hear that. Well, ladies out there, men out there, let me take it back. Men out there, if you got a woman that's egging you on to go fight for her honor, you need to walk away from that woman, because that woman is going to egg you on into jail. And then when you're sitting in jail with a bunch of festivals, she's going to be out with another man. Like I said earlier, he should have looked at Jada and been like, babe, I got you. Relax. I'm going to handle it. And go talk to Chris backstage. Talk to Chris backstage. Say, hey, bro, do me a favor, man. I ain't like that joke. You've been making fun of us for a while. We haven't said anything, but this one cut Jada kind of deep. Next time you go up, could you apologize? You know what I mean? Like, so all of the historic things that happen at the award show, like, this is the first time a black guy planned the award show, like organized the show. This is the first time so many black people getting awarded, and they turned this shit into,
Black Lives Matter party.
Oh man, I'm not even gonna go there. But yeah, they made this joint into some rubbish stuff, man. And him of all people, I'm like, when I tell you I lost a whole heap of respect for that dude, I lost a whole heap of respect for that dude. But that was that. I thought that recap was interesting.
It's gonna reverb, people will probably be talking about this years from now, and he made him and Jada the butt of the joke. People are gonna be clowning them,
For sure, and they deserve it. You shave your head and came outside. What you expect? And furthermore, it's here.
I disagree with that statement.
Let me finish though. You feel free to disagree. It's here. If I remember correctly, since Will met Jada, she has had a man haircut. It wasn't a buzz cut, but her hair was always short. So now you got a buzz cut. You ain't the only female that came outside with a buzz cut. A lot of women have buzz cuts. It's only here. Yeah, yours can't grow back, but it ain't nothing to go boo-hoo crying about. You know what I mean? So I just on so many different levels, that stuff to me, like that, what happened was just so uncalled for. It is just on so many different levels. Her contempt for the joke was, to me, absurd. And Will's reaction to her contempt was over the top. I mean, that's some stuff I'm a pay some dude to run up on Will for, if I'm Chris. You know what I mean? Like, you don't do stuff. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call Lil Wayne to have his booty boys run up on Will. He might like it, but still. Crazy, man. Crazy.
Yeah.
And he walked off stage like, I'm the man.
It seems to me that he feels insecure about his relationship, and that's making him insecure as a man to do that,
Bro, I totally agree with you. But his insecurities are all brought on because of the woman he just slapped Chris Rock over.
Yep.
She's the one that's been cheating on him left, right, and center and doing that sucker in public and coming out bragging about it. She's been the one ridiculing him, comparing him to Tupac. And everybody know Will don't match up to Tupac when Tupac was alive. Now that he's dead and he got killed, she's going to romanticize. Like she came out the other day and said Tupac was her first love. So she's still in love with this dude that's dead. You can never measure up to a dead person because the person's mind is going to romanticize that person. And no matter how good you are, that dead guy was better.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they get a divorce after this.
And that would make Will even more stupid. Because after you humiliate yourself, now you decide to leave her?
I think he would never leave her. I think she might leave him, you know? He's just not.
Ooh.
He's just not secure. He's an insecure man.
So you think after this dude just defended her, she still will leave the
perfect?
I think so. The reason why is because you could tell she's a woman caught up in her feelings, right? And she basically does what she feels. She might leave him on an impulse, for crying out loud. But like, he's gonna be downgraded, his status now, and that's gonna affect her feelings about him, right? It's kind of like when a man loses his job and he becomes she's with him for status. But that stuff is real important for women, you know, and
damn, if that happens, bro, Will's gonna kill himself. I hope Chris does get him for 200 million, and then that happens, and then he'll be gone. That dude will lose he'll take his life. Cause you right. if Chris takes 200 million of his money, yeah, Jada only now has 150 to split. I don't know how she gonna be able to live. Them haircuts cost $10,000 a pop. Oh my gosh, man! Let's give men some tips, man, because boy,
yeah, never. I like what you said, but it's basically simping, right? He laughed at the joke at the beginning. He thought the joke was funny.
Sure did.
And then she gave him a look, and it was like a dog whistle or whatever. I like how you command the dog sit.
Yep.
And he jumped right up, walked up there, and smacked him.
She gave him a look like Pac wouldn't have let this happen.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Nice. They wouldn't have made fun of me if Pac was my husband. Oh my gosh. It is hilarious. It is hilarious, man. Yo, men, I'm telling you right now, look at what Will did and make sure you analyze that joint and don't ever do nothing like that. Nothing. Do the opposite of everything Will did. They crack a joke on your girl, don't laugh. And if your girl is laughing, don't go slap the guy. Do the opposite of everything Will did. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wise words right there. Wise words.
Oh my gosh, man. It's funny. The guys are funny to me. Guys are funny to me.
What if it was fake? Whoa. Was it a good marketing tool?
For the Oscars, but not for Will.
Yeah, Will is
Yeah, they say he got the new Michael Jordan crying meme now. He's taking it over.
Yeah, he's definitely, like, he walked off like the winner, and he may be the winner in Hollywood circle, but to the rest of the world, I mean,
you were about to lose your job.
That's for sure. That dude's about to go and hiding for the rest of the year. For the rest of the year. I'd be shocked if he gets invited to another. If there's another award show this year, I'd be shocked if you see Will and Jada there.
What do you think he could do to recover?
Nothing. He got to wait, let time pass. Because
you think a press conference would be good publicity for him, an apology?
He apologized already.
A second one?
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. There isn't a whole lot he could say, right?
Yeah.
That he hasn't already said. And there isn't a whole lot he could do. Like, dude, the damage is already done.
Yeah.
It's similar to when you hear them say, you know, they rape these people trying to get into celebrity status, right? They drug them and rape them, and then they say, hey, do what we say or else we're going to play this tape. There's nothing you could do after the deed is done.
It's like all on TV, and
yeah,
you know, it's what everybody's talking about, and it's just a big mess. Like my news feed was just full of it, and it's crazy.
And Tiffany Haddish, ooh, she is going to get it. She came out and supported Will.
Who?
Tiffany Haddish.
Oh wow.
Exactly. Female comedian trying to break into the comedy. Well, broke in a little bit. Broke into the comedy scene. But I think she took Will's side because she's trying to get into movies. But Will's equity right now is so low, I don't even know how much equity he has in the movie industry. So that might backfire on her because most comedians were supporting Chris. I was watching Ricky Smiley. Ricky Smiley was pretty much saying, yo, if that was me, Will was going to get a beat down on that stage. Like when I tell you this joint, like Will got to disappear for the year. It's not going to die. It's not going to die. And you know how comedians are. They milk a joke. His whole life now is fair game to them.
Yep. How his woman be cheating on him, you know, all of that they're just gonna be clowning their relationship, you know?
Bro, I think, dude, you're a prophet. You right. I think they are gonna break up. Because the amount of weight that's gonna come down on these folk, they are gonna break up. I think you're right.
They got some grown kids though, so that could hold them together.
No, the kids are
out of the house. They're out of them too, you know.
Another thing for you guys, men out there, to pay attention to. You at all costs protect your manhood. At all costs protect manhood. Because a woman will try her damnedest to feminize you. They're going to tell you, hey, I like it when a man cry. He shows his emotion, expresses himself, all of this crap. They're going to tell you that. And when you start doing it, they're going to clown you and leave you. Ali has a thing where he says he thinks women like to hear no. I think women like a macho man, but women like to change men.
Well, they
so
test
they'll
you.
Go at it. Yeah.
It's a test, you know. They want to check you to see if you Or if you know you still man enough, essentially. And if
Yep.
constantly going on throughout the whole relationship, they're gonna test you. So you just gotta make being a man a part of who you are. And the thing with what Will did, right? It didn't feel heartfelt, right? To me,
Nope.
it felt like it was showmanship.
Acting.
So don't be a showman. Don't do things because people watching. You gotta, if you want to be heartfelt in your manliness and protect your pride, your integrity, your honor. That's the only thing that you have, right? That's why you got to look at it that way. Your honor, your integrity, that's the only thing you have. All of the money you have could be ripped away from you. Everything. Like your wife could be ripped away from you. Your kids could be ripped away from you. Only thing you got. So don't be letting people disrespect for you. And you do that in a heartfelt way because that's a part of who you are as a person.
Bro, I'm telling you guys out there right now, if you have a woman, I remember one day I was defending my girl. She's now my wife. I was defending my girl at the time. And she said to me, I got this. And I was like, oh, okay, no problem. Go ahead, do your damn thing. And you know, I was so used to a woman looking at a man and saying, yo, go fight for me. And there are women out there who, like, I was watching another comedian. And so all the women who are out there supporting Will right now, because there's a huge feminine support. Coincidentally, a huge feminine support for Will right now, because there are women out there that's like, oh, protect the black woman, protect the black woman. And I'm like, okay, we talking about hair. Here? I'm a channel my inner Philly Iverson. We talking about hair? Hair, not blood, nothing seriously disrespectful. We talking about hair. Come on, man. Come on, man. That joint was crazy. That joint was crazy.
The views of Andre are not my own. Don't touch a black woman's hair. Don't touch on a black woman's hair.
Okay. All right. It's my views. It's not the views of the podcast. It's not the views of Mr. Baba. It ain't the views of Shawn. Those are my views. We talking about hair. There was no level of disrespect. As a matter of fact, I was watching another comedian that was like, yo, G.I. Jane is a hero. G.I. Jane is it was a woman they didn't want in the army. They were saying she wasn't tough enough. She shaved her head and passed the test to be in the army.
When you put it that way, the joke wasn't even that funny anymore. It was actually a compliment.
Thank you. Thank you. That's why when he said, hey, that's why Chris Rock was like, yo, that was a G.I. Jane joke. Like, how you find this? But again, that goes to show you that they already didn't like Chris. So no matter what he said, if he called their names, I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't be surprised if Will and Jada had planned this from jump. I'm not surprised because they knew Chris was gonna host. So I'm not surprised if Jada be like, yo, if we go there and this dude say one thing about me, you better slap this dude tonight. And him being the simp he is like, okay, Anya, I got you. So He's laughing. She look at him like, perfect. What we said before we left the house. She gave him a Michelle Obama. The Michelle Obama look. What we said before we left the house. That's why he had to stop laughing and get up and go slap dude. Like Shawn said, homeboy was laughing. This is crazy. This is crazy. This crazy. Men, like Shawn said, protect your honor at all costs. Be honorable at all costs. Man, you know how much black women out there would want Will? Do you know how many black women out there would want Will? For Will to sit down and continually take the abuse that he takes and then come on TV or whatever and cries that he's getting abused? Leave! Ali, what you said? 10 to 1, 20 to 1, 30 to 1? What's the numbers?
Atlanta, definitely.
Look how many, you know how many Georgia Peaches are in Atlanta that would drop whoever they with for Will? Come on, man. He gets no pity from me. JADA could be beating him in the streets. I'ma look at him and be like, yep, you deserve it. You've been with this woman for however long. She been abusing the crap out of you and you stayed. Now she graduated. She's all about self-development. She graduated from verbal and mental abuse to physical. Take that. Can't stop, won't stop. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get in so much trouble, but I don't care. That dude was like a OG simp that night. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Original Fauci, man.
I'm telling you. Like, if you're an insecure man, how do you become a secure man? You got to go see a therapist. Are secure men able to see therapists? Like, how do we bridge this gap?
Some people might have to go see therapy. I think the issue is not knowing your own self-worth. Because when you're not a secure man, you are essentially masking who you are, you know? And because of some sort of a shame that you have. I think it starts with shame. And so you're not secure in yourself. So you are pretending to be somebody else. What you got to do is you got to know your worth and know that I am a good person. I am an honorable person. I live with integrity. And you got to know that you are worthy and that you should not take disrespect because you're worth it. It's about knowing your own self-worth and not being ashamed of who you are inside and living by a principle. You know, you got to form your code. We have in our culture, we basically have Judeo-Christian moral ethics that we live by of what determines right and wrong. And so that's a good moral code and principle to live by, I think. I think if you live that way, you're going to have a good life. And you have to have some sort of a principle that you live by. Know your self-worth. And that's what makes a man more secure.
I'm going to try for us to get to the root of these things because a lot of those things are complex things to do. And just saying them don't always, like, a person can't arrive at a process or a strategy of how to do that, right? So you said know your self-worth. How do you quantify what you're worth? Someone tells you, you decide. Like, how do you quantify what your self-worth is?
I don't know about quantifying and stuff like that, but you know, we as men, a lot of the times we make a lot of sacrifices, right?
Yes.
So the sacrifices that we make, we deserve to have things too. You get what I'm saying? Like, you need to not sacrifice so much to where you're putting yourself down. Knowing your self-worth is knowing that you are worthy to have, knowing that you are worthy of respect, knowing that you are worthy of honor and integrity. And that's I know that goes over people's head, but that's the basic gist of it. To quantify it is like putting a number on it. How do you get there? How do you get to knowing your self-worth? I'm not a therapist. I don't know. Maybe look in the mirror and say a mantra. Like, I am worthy. I'm okay with who I am. It's a process. It's a growth process.
I think the way I decide what my self-worth is when I see what the type of respect certain types of men are able to garner, right? I look at that, and you know, I said this, you know, earlier, you know, Ali said not everybody has the wherewithal to arrive at these kinds of decisions, right? I look around, and if I'm like, yo, I like how people move around Shawn, I'm gonna see what the hell Shawn is doing that causes Shawn to get the kind of respect that these folks been giving Shawn. Why is it? Because Shawn is smart? Is it because Shawn is strong? Is it because Shawn is sexy? Why is it that Shawn is getting what he's getting? Because I want that right there. And then you get to work understanding Shawn. You get to work understanding what is allowing Shawn to get the things that you want for you, but are not currently getting. That's how I look at life. That's how I see things, right? So as it relates to developing self-worth, right? I look at, just to name someone us three knows, right? I look at, and every time comes around, right? All the girls is always giggling.
Is this true, or are you making this up?
No, I'm just making it up. I'm just using, okay, so Shawn, let me use Shawn then. Every time Shawn comes around, all the girls is like, hey, Shawn. And you know, you know how women are, they hit you for every little thing. Stop it. And you know, all these different things, right? Dudes is always, you know, Shawn's like, yo, I'm gonna go hit up such and such. Oh, word, I'm gonna come. And they all rolling with Shawn. Shawn always got an entourage. How come Shawn always got an entourage? Is it because Shawn dresses fly? Is it because Shawn is funny? Is it because whatever it is, right? Because what you're seeing is what you want, right? And so you look at all these different components in people, right? And you say, okay, I want that for me. I want that for me. I want that for me. I want that for me, right? And then you get to work building that aura, right? Whatever you have to do to build the aura, you get to work building the aura to get that level of respect and attention that you want, right? That's why some people, you could be friends with people, and one day they go, nah, I don't like that. Don't do that no more. Because they just changed the level of respect and integrity that they're demanding from the folks around them. Women do this all the time, right? Men, they do it less often, but it's possible, right? I remember one day I went to rehearsal, and let's just say Ali, I met Ali. I'm like, yo, what's your name? Ali is my name. And then one day this dude shows up to rehearse and he's like, no, my name is Ali. And I'm like, what? Bruh, you told me your name. You told me your name was Ali. All of a sudden you want to change the joint? But I'm just saying, I'm saying this to say, you can, like, you look around to see what you want for yourself, and then you start demanding it from people. There's a British rapper called Dizzy Rascal. He has a song that says, you people will respect me if it kills you. Now, when a person has to say, you people will respect me if it kills you, means that you guys haven't been respecting me. I just made a change and I'm willing to kill you to make sure that you adhere to the new change for me. That is how you, in my opinion, that is how you develop a self-worth for yourself. You look around, see what you like, what you dislike, and then you get to work creating the aura for yourself, and you get to work demanding whatever it is from people. There's some people out there that will run little dick jokes, that will run all sorts of stupid jokes with certain people. And then there are other people they wouldn't run those same jokes with. Why? Because that person, you know, everyone in the area know, yo, don't run those jokes with Dre. That stuff is gonna be unfunny real fast. And I'm just saying Dre because I'm talking, but I'm saying anyone. You understand where I'm coming? You guys understand where I'm coming from? I don't know if you guys agree, but do you guys understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah. The part of respect is fair to a certain degree, you know? Another way you could develop self-worth, though I was thinking about this, if you're a Christian, this is easy because you know that you're a child of God, right? And being a child of God, made in God's image, makes you a valuable person.
Yep.
And when you know that you're valuable, if you're Will Smith and Jada is cheating on you, you know you don't deserve that. You know that you are worthy of something better.
Facts knows.
And you won't allow yourself to be disrespected like that, you know? The disrespect is something that a man should not take if he knows what he deserves. And you got to look and say what you want, and you say, this is what I want, and this is how I want it, just like what Dre said. And that's what you got to go for, and you got to achieve that, and you got to know that you're worthy of having that. And a part of respect in the Bible, when it says fear the Lord, if you replace that with respect the Lord, it's almost
the same.
Yeah.
And honestly, be ready and willing to completely change your circle to get that level of respect that you're looking for. Because quite frankly, once someone has a picture of you in their mind, like celebrities talk about this all the time, where they grew up a child celebrity and they were a comedian, right? They were a funny celebrity. Like Jim Carrey, you never seen Jim Carrey in an action flick. When Chris Rock started to do Fargo, where he was a gangster, people couldn't really wrap their head around Chris Rock being a serious thug because he's a funny man. So sometime when you're looking for this level of respect from the folks around you, if you're not getting it, slowly cut all of them off and you go build new friends. That's gonna start from where you are. Because where you are right now is not where you were when you met those old friends. And those old friends have you in their minds of where you are when we met, or if we came up together. If we came up together and you was always the clumsy dummy, no matter how smart, how rich you are, they're gonna always remind you, dude, you was a clumsy dummy. We called you clumsy dummy. So now because you got money, now because you got a hot wife, now shit ain't changed. That's how your friends are gonna, because they already have this picture of you in their minds. So if you are ready to make a change, to demand new respect, and the folks around you don't respect you enough to grant that, to give that to you, it's time to change those friends around you. It's going to be hard, but if you're trying to develop this new self-worth, the self-worth after you've made the decision that your worth is now increased, you getting that respect, that whatever it is that you're searching for from people around you is now important to you to validate what the new changes you just implemented. And if you're not getting it, all you're going to do is get clowned from the folks who's been, your friends forever. You got to change those friends.
Yeah, don't kick it with people who disrespect you, period.
Period.
What if it's your brother?
Don't kick it with
period.
Your brother. Respect you.
Period, homie. Period. Now look, it's your brother, so you can't not be his brother. But after a while, when your brother starts to see that you're serious, he's either gonna stop hanging out with you as much, or he's gonna start saying, all right, bro, I got you. My fault. Once that brother sees that, hey, Ali ain't playing games, right? And I'm not even talking about it getting violent. I'm just saying, look, I don't like what you said. I don't like when you said this before. I don't like it. Stop saying it. What? Blah 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 blah. And they don't give you that respect. Hang your phone up and don't call back.
Dre, you sound like a hypocrite. On one end, you saying Chris Rock should be able to tell his joke and Will Smith should be able to laugh, and on the other end, you saying don't take disrespect from anybody.
He didn't say he should be able to laugh. He said he shouldn't have laughed. You can't be laughing at a joke about you.
Nah, he's saying he overreacted and hit the guy.
Will Smith did, yes. But first
so which
of all,
one is it? Should I not?
I'm gonna tell you right now.
That's disrespecting me, or should I laugh at the joke?
I'm gonna tell you right now. First of all, there was no disrespect done.
I disagree.
There was no. I hear you, but there was no disrespect done. Every secure man, and Shawn, you can tell me if you agree. Validate this if you'd like. Every secure man is able to laugh at themselves.
That's true.
So if a joke is said about you that there is no malice in it, that's like somebody saying, I'm wearing a tank top, and they look at me and they're like, damn, Dre, you on your Rambo stuff today? And then I get mad and slap him behind the head. That don't make no sense.
It wasn't, in my opinion, a hugely offensive joke. However, that said, if Will, like what Dre said earlier, if Will would have handled it in a way where after the show, he went up to him and said his piece, that would have been a more appropriate in that venue.
I wouldn't have even waited till... Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The reason why is because when you go to a place like that, you're going to get roasted. You're going to get it. Just the venue is a comedian who's there to roast people. And so because that's known beforehand, if you got a problem with that, you don't got to go. You get what I'm saying?
Yep. Or you're receiving an award. So if you tell the award committee, hey, I'm going to be present to receive my award, you find out he has the equity, he has the cachet to say, hey, in the past, Chris have been making jokes about us. Could you see to it that this year we're spared? He has the equity to do that. He didn't, which is why I'm saying, and again, one of the reasons he might not have done that is because he doesn't, people don't want to come off as they take themselves too seriously, because that is sort of like a knock against you, right? Come on, you're taking yourself too serious. You know what I mean? And so he might not have said anything because he doesn't want to come off as though he's taking himself too serious. But he has the cachet. Now, I wouldn't have waited until the show was done to have Chris. Chris hosted the show, correct?
Yeah.
So I would have waited for a break. He has to come off stage. I would have went backstage and waited for him to come down and say, hey, bro, yo, Jada didn't like that. And now I got to be here talking to you about this. I would appreciate it if you went back up there and apologized to her because you didn't understand how sensitive she was about her hair. Now, if Chris is like, F you, I said what I said and I meant what I said, then you slap him. Because that right there is disrespectful. I came to you like a man because you didn't know you offended me as much as you did. Now I'm asking you to remedy the offense. You're now exhibiting some level of discontent to me expressing to you that you have outed me. Now we're going to have to take it to another level. Right? Now, as a man, you know this stuff, bro. You know this stuff. That's why when somebody says something crazy, you like, yo, what you just said? And let the person say, yo, my bad. I ain't mean nothing by it. And then you like, oh, all right. You check whatever the situation is. You walk up and you slap this dude. I don't remember. Did Chris Rock apologize? He didn't apologize on stage. He apologized on like his social media. He didn't apologize on stage. So look, there are things that men are supposed to understand and supposed to know. I don't know if Will had his dad in his life, but this dude has been putting himself up as a mentor for some time now. You would have expected some level of decorum from him. He's been around the block. His kids are now old. He should know how to conduct himself as a man. And especially, I don't know if I said this already, but especially after y'all guys been talking about Oscar So White. And Oscar went out of their way to involve Black people this time around. Like, I didn't even know that it was a Black dude who was the organizer of this year's Oscar. I didn't know that. No, like, the only way people are talking about that right now is to say that Will Smith humiliated the Black man. The first time Oscar let a Black man plan the thing, Will come there and acted ghetto. That's how you're finding out that a Black dude is who planned the Oscars. Like, come on. Like, he needs some more therapy. He been in a lot of therapy. He needs some more. And maybe he needs to change his goddamn therapist too. Because he need a therapist to teach him how to be a man. That's crazy. That is crazy. And so let me answer your question, Ali. So you said, which one is it? Again, he was laughing at the joke, right? Which means he thought it was humorous. The only reason he went up there was because he saw how Jada was taking it. So he allowed his woman to change something about him that, okay, so you always hear women say, know your worth, right? And when a woman say know her worth, she's talking about, I'm me and I'm worthy of whatever, and you're gonna accept me for me, right? Will thought it was funny. Jada didn't think it was funny. If I'm in Will's shoe, I'm gonna be like, hey, hon, I don't know if I said this already, but I would have been like, hey, hon, look, I understand look, it was funny. People were laughing, but I'm gonna talk to him. Give me a chance. Let me talk to him, and I'll get him to apologize to you, right? And now you go and you say she's gonna be like, all right, fine. And then you go and deliver on your promise to your woman, because there are a lot of times that people have unrealistic interpretations of things, right? Like something could happen and it's like you're thinking it's a big deal and the rest of the world didn't even notice it. You dig what I'm saying? Like, if they had let this thing just go, today we wouldn't have been talking about Will and Jada's hair. Today. Nobody would be talking about it, but he made it like, so now he stopped the whole world and now the world is focusing on her hair. She was trying to not draw attention to her hair. And now the whole world is talking about her hair. So sometimes you got to realize, hey, yeah, I know this puppy's cute. I know he licks your face all the time, but it's a puppy. Let's stop treating it like a baby. It's not a human. It's a puppy.
Dre got something against puppies.
Okay, so it's a cat. It's not a human. It's a cat.
Dre got something against animals.
I'm just saying, sometimes people have unrealistic value placed on things, right? And in that situation, Will's role was to say, hey, hun, it's not really that big a deal. You do have a buzz cut. Let me go talk to him. Let him know, look, you kind of sensitive about your hair. And Chris is a reasonable dude. Chris, most likely, I'm sure Chris would have been like, oh, snap. Yo, my fault, bro. I don't mean no disrespect. I'm going to go back up there and I'm going to apologize. I did not mean any disrespect. Now, again, if it doesn't work out that way, that's when you smack him up. You know what I mean?
This isn't legal advice, by the way.
Very much not. I hope Chris Rock go digging in his wallet. I hope so, for real. Like, he needs to pay a I hope Chris Rock digs in his wallet, and I hope they strip him of that award.
I don't think
shocked
he be punished that bad. You know, the embarrassment of this whole thing for him is probably extreme. Honestly, if it was a white man up there, this is why I think he should sue him. Because he only did it because it was Chris Rock.
Yep.
If it was a white man up there, he wouldn't have smacked him.
Yep. Facts on facts on facts.
But let him keep the award, you know.
Just dig in his wallet.
Yeah, just digging in his wallet. I don't think it needs to be a career-ending thing, you know. Will
Smith be fined by the Academy.
Yeah, actually, this is probably one of the best things for the Oscars. The Oscars turned into the BET Awards because their ratings were high.
Yeah, but so I'm actually one of the opinion that there are some things that class should be upheld. Like, we have to have a place for everything. There's a place to dress up in my jeans and sneakers, and that's the decorum, right? There's a place that I have to dress up in my suit and my tuxedo, and that's the decorum. There's a place I go when I want to whine on my wife. There's a place I go when I want to have ballroom dancing with my wife. So I actually don't agree with the Oscars turning into the BET Awards, because we already have a BET Awards. I think there should be a place where, you learn how to freaking use a knife and fork. You learn how to use the 7 different utensils on the table. We all can't always grab the chicken bone.
Yeah.
So, I get your point in terms of, yeah, they got 5 million more views this year. But I do think that you should have some place, man, where you shave yourself, you get a haircut, you put on a suit and tie, and you go and act dignified. There should be a place in the world for that. And if the Oscars said that's what they want, I think that should be upheld.
Yeah, I agree. The Oscars, their ratings have been falling off, and so I think they're pretty much happy about, the slap. I think it's mortifying, It's just, if for black people in general, it's just like, it's classless.
Stereotype, like literally living the stereotype.
It's classless, and we need to be able to show that we can be classy. But it was showmanship, He did it because he knew people were watching. It seemed like there was general angst against him in the crowd.
Chris?
Yeah. The celebrities don't want to be roasted, or maybe they don't like it. But I heard that the crowd clapped afterwards. They gave a standing ovation. Maybe they didn't know.
Go ahead. Maybe they didn't know. I'm listening. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Maybe they thought it was a part of the show. I don't know. Maybe
so. All right. Couple of things. I honestly think that Chris didn't get slapped in the face. I think Chris got slapped on the shoulder, and he turned because Chris just said, Will slapped the shit out of me. He didn't say he slapped me in the face. Because when you go and watch the slap, everyone, when you're slapping somebody, your fingers are normally pointed towards them. That's the first thing. Chris's mic, I think I've already said this. Chris's mic was down on his suit jacket. When Will slapped him, you heard when the mic got hit. You see what I'm saying? So, and then in addition to that, Will Smith's hand was pointed directly up in the air. Normally when you're slapping somebody, your fingers are pointed to them. Will's fingers were pointed directly up in the air. That's why I'm like, what kind of dumb slap is that? That ain't a real slap. Everybody's saying, oh, it's real, it's real. I'm like, yo, that thing did not look real to me. If it was real, okay, but it didn't look real to me.
Drake clapped some boys way harder than that.
Huh? When you get slapped in the face, bro, that thing echoes. Like when a person gets slapped in the face, it echoes, bro. There was no echo in that room. You can hear a slap. There was no echo in that room. But yeah, I don't think it was real. Oh yes, another thing. This that's going on in this goddamn world that is pissing me the hell off. And Ali don't like when I get pissed, but this stuff is pissing me off, right? The crowds in general will always do what they think everybody wants. They'll never do what they actually feel. So you heard about this dude who now is swimming with the women, right? And he's winning all his races. You heard about him, right?
Yeah. Leah.
So the women that's swimming with this guy is saying, oh, they're happy for X, Y, and Z, and da 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 da. They're just saying what the world wants them to say. They're not actually saying what they feel. Because secretly these women, it's like, why the hell they have a guy swimming with us? I think you guys asked, or multiple people are asking, okay, if y'all are saying, we're equal and, equal whatever, where are all the women that's lining up to go play basketball with the men? Where are all the women that's lining up to go run against men? I don't see that happening. So a lot of people out there have a problem with what's going on, but because voicing your opinion about what has become widely accepted is now taboo, they're not talking. So they'll clap because Will went up there and cried and defended his wife. They'll clap. But a lot of people I'm sure, thought that, hey, that wasn't cool. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. They just clap.
You know,
Anyway.
yeah, they're just, because everybody want to be Will's friend. This dude is producing movies now. He's like I'm sure he's one of the gatekeepers in the movie industry right now. At least when it comes to black people. So of course he's gonna support that guy. I'm sure that's why Tiffany Haddish was supporting him. Because Tiffany Haddish is trying to get on like Chris, what's his name? What's that short dude's name? The short comedian. What's his name? Kevin Hart's, like she's trying to follow his path. Doing movies now, because you get paid more for doing movies. There's more clout. You do a movie now, people want to come see a special, all these different things. So we'll have the keys for a lot of people. Look at the girl from Wakanda. What's the name of that movie?
Lupita Nyong'o.
Yes, you saw her face. She was like, oh, no. What's going on here? Are y'all for real? That was her face. I'm sure a lot of people that clapped was like it was like group think happened. Oh, we're clapping? Okay. You know what I mean? I'm sure that's part of what happened. It's crazy, man. Because now look. I was listening to, I forget who it was today. And they were like, yo, they went on to Will's feed afterwards. And it was mad hate on Will. They went on Chris Rock's feed, mad support for Chris Rock. So that tells you that most people did not agree with what happened.
Yeah, it was a very polarizing event.
Okay, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
If you looked at what happened and you're like, yeah, Will. Okay. As you and Tani said, maybe you need to take an introspective look at yourself.
Some toxicity involved there.
For sure.
Shawn, I think what we were talking about after Shawn and I was there are emotional people and there are logical people. And there's a whole spectrum in between.
You have your logical intelligence, right? And that's what you would see like through IQ tests. And then you have emotional intelligence. And there's some people on either extreme. And the majority of people are in the middle somewhere. So my mother is a very emotional woman. And this is kind of how I learned about this stuff. She's so emotional that sometimes she does things that's not logical, but I learned the way she thinks and the way she communicates. And it makes sense if you think about from the perspective of emotions. And for instance, my mom had a doctor who prescribed her the wrong medicine that almost killed her. I told my mom, I said, Mom, you need to change your doctor. And she says, I don't want to change my doctor. Because in her mind, she had an emotional connection with the doctor. She felt a bonding, an intimacy with the doctor. And the fact that the doctor was a well-known doctor for the area, she felt a little prestige. It's not thinking in a logical way, it's thinking more emotionally. And this is what kind of got me interested in it. And I started looking at it and I realized that a large majority of people really think more on emotional terms. And they're not going to be rational necessarily, but it won't make sense to a more logical thinking person, but it is an emotional way of thinking. and not wrong.
You said something like emotions. We think of emotions in a negative way, but it's more so related to instincts, right?
Yeah. Emotions come from a deeper part of the brain. And a lot of other animals have the same emotions like what we have. It's an instinctive part. It's
like a dog, Shawn?
Yeah, a dog or a mouse. They have.
I'm just asking for Dre.
They have the same emotions as like what we humans have. You know, the higher, and I don't even want to say higher level of thinking, because it's downplaying the people who are more emotional. But the frontal lobe has to do with more judgment and logic, whereas deeper in the brainstem has to do with more fear, anger, the things that we consider emotion, happiness, laughter. All that stuff is more instinctive to us.
And people use emotions to get people to buy things, right? As opposed to logic.
Yeah. You can play on anyone's emotions. And the thing about emotional thinkers is they're more manipulative, easily manipulated, because it's more instinctive. It's a good way to tell if you're an emotional person or not. They have.
Yeah, I know. Did you cry when you watched The Time Traveler's Wife?
That's a good way. But okay, in my brain, I'm a more logical thinker. I have what you call the mind's eye. So I think about everything. I can hear a voice in my head. Do you have that, Ali? Like, no. I can actually, when I'm thinking, when I'm anything that I'm doing, I can hear a voice in my head that is weighing the balance of the consequences. If I do it this way, this is going to happen. If I do it that way, that's going to happen. Do you have that, Dre?
I do.
It's an inner monologue.
No, I don't.
Emotional people don't necessarily have that because they're more instinctive. So a logical person is thinking about consequences all the time. I hear this voice. My inner monologue is so strong that sometimes it drowns out what's going on around me. That ever happened to you, Dre?
My inner monologue drowning out what's happening around me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never paid attention that much to make that identification.
So that's what logical people have, as opposed to a more emotional thinker. You don't have an inner monologue, Ali?
No, sir. I'm as dull as they come.
So you don't think about consequences, you just feel and do what you feel, right?
Mm-hmm. Like a little
perfect.
So this is how it is, right? You're playing a video game. Imagine playing a video game. The logical thinker would be the person who, like, if you're playing a non-player, if you're playing a shooter game, like where you control the character, the inner monologue would be you controlling that character in the video game. The more emotional thinker would be like the NPC, the non-player character, the one that's not controlled by the inner monologue. They're controlled by instincts and emotions. They call them NPCs because it's a more primitive part of the brain that is guiding you.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. We're all animals. It's just some people have your inner monologue would be you playing the video game. You're the person controlling that character. The emotional thinker would be the more instinctive character that's like not controlled by a character.
Like a logical person is a person who will look at certain things and analyze it, break it apart and say, oh, okay, no, forget it. No, I won't do that. And then an instinctive or emotional person is just going to see it and, oh, everybody's running, I got to run too. A logical person is like, why are we running? What's going on?
Yeah,
well, it's a marathon.
But we can say that, you know, the person that is running sometimes and just instinctually decides to run too can get their life saved, and the person who is questioning can be killed.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And that's why, you know, I think that it's been selected for to have instincts like that, to run, you know? So the more emotional person is also going to be more susceptible to superstitions also, because that's how they, you know, their brain works. They're more likely to believe that you're running because something is bad's going to happen than you're running because there's a marathon. That's how the emotional brain would work. Whereas the logical brain is not as susceptible to superstitions, and it is on a spectrum, right? So you have people who are a little bit of both, and then you have people who are so logical that they won't even believe anything. They're so skeptical about everything.
Yeah, those people are annoying.
Yeah. And then you have the people who believe every little superstition, right? Well, I think that it's been selected for, like evolutionarily speaking, it's been selected for us to believe. Because when we were in Africa, if somebody thought that they saw a lion in the shadow of their eye and ran up a tree or whatever, they survived. Whereas if a person who thought they saw that shadow and didn't run, and it was a lion or it wasn't a lion, then they would be eaten. You know what I mean? So to believe, we've been selected for belief. And that's why I think majority of the population is more on the emotional side of things.
And also, I think, you know, we have this negative connotation with gossip. If we're going back to Africa, I think that gossip was something that women used to do in order to be like the news, you know, in order to mimic the news, what we see as the news today, which is stories, you know. So I don't think of gossip as a terrible thing.
Yep.
I think when it comes to gossip, like we evolved, right? And sometimes we can't only look at how things was in the past to govern how we move now. So we have credible news, and you know, when we say gossip now, we're talking about just talking crap about someone for talking crap about someone's sake. If you consider that news, then I guess you consider that news. But when people say gossip, they're generally talking about you know, people who just talk crap about other people's business. I guess, you know, you have like sitcoms where TV shows, I should say, where like the entire show is about people's business. That's not really news. And we have just been inculcated to look at it as news now. But Kim Kardashian is pregnant. That's not news. Kim Kardashian and Kanye is getting divorced. That's not news. But the news people have just trained us to look at this irrelevant information as news. And so now we think of it as news. That's not news. If it was news, everybody who's getting pregnant would be on the news. You know, you guys might not agree with me, but that's just how I look at that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
bro. Thank you guys. I think we need to have these bro sessions more often, man. Where we just bro out.
Yeah.
Real talk.
All right, guys.
All right.
Well, guys, thank you for listening to another episode of the Wagwan podcast.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, we are already on YouTube. If you don't know, now you know for the second time. Please like, subscribe, share our videos, spread the word, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend.
Yes. And if you want us to talk about something that you want to hear about, you could email us at wagwanpodcast@gmail.com. WAHGWAN podcast@gmail.com. We're also on Instagram and we're on all your other favorite platforms. That's Apple, Google, Spreaker, SoundCloud, whatever you want. We got it. Listen in.